Hey guys, before we start the live stream, I want to give a massive shout out to TBC Live for sponsoring the channel. Guys, TBC Live is a fantastic way to interact with your favorite content creators, including yours truly. I'm on the app. Make sure you guys get on to TBC Live. Download the app today. You can predict the outcome of each game as it's going on live. You can predict the 40-20. You can pick a try in the next 5 minutes, whatever it may be. But guys, get around TBC Live and download the app today. Let's get into the review. Hit the intro. What is going on, lads? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name is Nick from Australia, and welcome to the Friday Night Football Review for round 26 of the 2024 NRL season. What a wild night. The first game was outstanding. Manly Bulldogs, obviously, Manly were way too good tonight. The Bulldogs got a couple of late tries towards the end, but, man, that last game, Penrith versus Souths, I wanted to go to bed. My goodness. My goodness. Panthers versus Souths. What an absolute snooze fest. That was a horrible game of football, man. I didn't mind Manly Bulldogs. I thought that game was probably a bit disappointing. We were all expecting potential game of the year and whatever, but Manly was so dominant. I think them winning by 12 is probably a little bit underwhelming considering how dominant Manly were most of that game. But of course, we'll get into the review. And hello to the live chat as always. I don't have a lot of energy for tonight's review, man. Like the first game disappointed me, and then that last game, I just wanted to go to bed. Like it was shocking. Panthers and South was not a great game to watch. Hello to the chat. We got Neutralizer, we got GTT, we got Jimmy, Luke Melbourne Storm fan, CJ Moxley, SS Storm fan, Will Pearson, Luke Melbourne Storm fan. Hope everyone's doing well. If you tip the Manly Seagulls to win tonight, congratulations. Very, very good tip there. They played well. They played well. Let's get into it, man. Bulldogs and Manly. What a wild game. Manly 34, Bulldogs 22. The way the Bulldogs started, I was like, oh, shit. Dogs look like they're on. And, gee whiz, it was back and forth for a while, but Manly were just on, bro. Like, their attack. Manly's attack was absolutely outstanding tonight. Absolutely phenomenal. Thought Manly's attack was just on a different level, man. Obviously, the first try of the game come for the Bulldogs. Reid Marnie, he ended up scoring the first try of the game. Wonder who would have backed that. Definitely not me. So good start there for the Doggies, going up 6-0. Then Jason Saab ends up scoring a very nice try. What are we, 6 apiece, I believe, at that point. Tommy Turbo gets a pretty lucky try, but take what you can get. Manly go to 12-6. Then Lehigh Hopewada ends up scoring. Manly go to 16 points to 6. I think they got the goal. I'm just trying to remember. Did they kick the goal after 16-6? They did. 18-6 Manly. Manly they were looking good, the Seagulls. And then the Bulldogs hit back through the Fox, Josh Adokar, man. Good to see him scoring a nice try tonight. 18-12 at that point in favour of Manly. But I think the one that really hurt him was the one that Kyle Lawton scored before halftime. Now, a lot of people are saying it was a forward pass. And when I first watched it live, I thought it was forward. And then I had a look at a few replays and a few people blowing up about it on social media. And you know what? Look, I think Kyle Lawton's try was a forward pass. I think it was. But here's what it is. It's one of those 50-50 calls that you're going to get or that you're not going to get. Like, you watch a game of rugby league and sometimes a team will score off a pass where you're like, hang on, I reckon that was Ford. The referee will disagree with you. So, yeah, the Kyle Lawton try, very 50-50 on that. That could have been called back quite easily, but they end up giving it. What'll be 24-12 at halftime, I believe. Look, Manly in the first half were fantastic. Their attack was really good. And I think going into this game, I think I may have said to a couple of people, I said, for Manly to win this game, they're going to have to score at least 24 to 26 points to win. And they scored 24 in the first half. So Manly were on. And I'm like, well, they're on here. They're a big chance. Considering the Bulldogs' defense is one of the best in the competition, they were on Manly. They were on in that first half. Second half begins. Lehigh Hopewada ends up scoring a try, gets his second. Manly go 30-12 in front, and it looks like it's over. Then Ruben Garrick scores again. Garrick goes over for a try. Manly 34-12. 34-12. And I thought to myself, well, this is insane. Manly have come to Accor Stadium. They have ambushed the Bulldogs, and they're probably going to win the game. And there were a few dramas, man. Tom Trbojevic got injured. I believe he will miss next week, but Anthony Seibold says he'll be good for week one of the finals. So at least that's a good thing for Manly. The Bulldogs, on the other hand, one small concern, Matt Burton. He went off for a HIA. He failed the HIA. I believe it was category 2. So there is a chance he could play next week against the Cowboys, but he'll have to pass a few tests through the week, and we'll see what happens there. But I think Burton will play because I'll get to it in a minute. Bulldogs versus Cowboys next Saturday night at Accor Stadium has big, big ramifications. Now, Luke Brooks on report as well. Luke Brooks could be in trouble. Could be in a bit of strife. He could get a week. I don't know if he will or not. We'll find out tomorrow, I guess, all over the weekend. But Luke Brooks could get a week for his shot. But we'll have to wait and see. And then the Bulldogs, they get a couple late tries there. Jacob Preston scores a late one. And then obviously on a minute to go, Reid Marnie ends up scoring and ends up being 34-22, the final score. Yes, CJ. Now, let's get to it. Guys, big major ramifications next week. Round 27 is going to be huge. I am flying to Sydney for the Bulldogs versus Cowboys game next week. That's going to be a huge event. I'm looking forward to getting down there for it. But there's a lot on the line, and let me try and explain it to you. A lot of people are confused. So I'm going to try and explain next week's situation as best as I can. So, Bulldogs versus Cowboys. The winner of Bulldogs versus Cowboys will finish 5th on the NRL ladder. The loser of Bulldogs versus Cowboys will be in 6th position. They will be ready for a home final, pending on what happens on Sunday between Manly and Cronulla. Whoever loses between Manly and whoever loses between the Bulldogs and the Cowboys will be playing Manly week one of the finals regardless. If Manly win next week, Manly will play either the Bulldogs or the Cowboys at Accor Stadium. Whoever loses that game. Say the Bulldogs lose. If the Bulldogs lose and Manly lose, Bulldogs will play Manly week one at Accor Stadium. If the Bulldogs lose next week and Manly win, Manly would play Bulldogs at Accor Stadium. Same thing with the Cowboys. If the Cowboys lose and Manly lose, Cowboys will play Manly week one up in Townsville. If the Cowboys lose and Manly win, Manly will play the Cowboys week one at Brookvale. So there's a lot on the line. The loser of Bulldogs versus Cowboys is going to be playing Manly regardless. We won't know the home venue until Sunday. Obviously, Manly have to win to get a home final now, and whoever wins out of Bulldogs Cowboys will finish fifth and will most likely be playing the Dragons, the Broncos, the Dolphins, or the Knights. One of them four, or the Raiders if they somehow get there. Most likely Dragons at this stage, based off the draw and tomorrow's scenario. But there's a lot on the line next week. I'm telling you, Bulldogs Cowboys, the winner will get a home final. The loser may end up in seventh spot if Manly win and have to play 4 weeks on the road straight, which won't be easy, especially for us coming from Townsville. So, huge game next week. Bulldogs and Cowboys, big game. I'll be there, looking bloody forward to it, to be honest. But look, I thought Manly tonight against the Bulldogs. Thought Manly were very good. I thought their attack was outstanding. It was an absolute genius move from Anthony Seibold to keep Koula on the bench, but just in case of injury. And my God, it paid off well because when Tom went off, Koula just comes straight in and stuff, they're okay still. Manly don't rely on Tom anymore to make them a top, Manly don't need Tom to be a top 8 side. Like, they have learnt to play without him. They can play without him. They can win without him. I don't think it's all over just because Tom's out for Manly, but he obviously is an important part of their side. So, sucks to see him go off injured. But I thought the Bulldogs tonight were a little bit flat. Bulldogs' defense was probably the worst it's been all season, to be honest. I don't think they've let 30 points in at all this season. So the Bulldogs will be really disappointed with their defense. But it is what it is for the Bulldogs. They were due for one of these losses at home, and it came this week. So, yeah, we'll see what happens next week. Hopefully the Bulldogs lose again. But looking forward to next week, man. Bulldogs-Cowboys. Should be a bloody good game. But, look, if you're a Bulldogs fan, I wouldn't be too worried. You had an off night. Stephen Crichton didn't play. You lost Matt Burton to a HIA. I know there were a few unfortunate things that didn't go their way, like bounce the ball and whatever, but it's what it is. I think Bulldogs will be okay, but big game next week, man. Dogs, Cowboys. But Manly, they came to Accor Stadium with a plan tonight, and they got it done. So, well done to Manly. Well done to them. Player of the game, tough one to pick, man. Really tough one to pick. I'm going to say DCE. I thought Daly Cherry Evans was absolutely outstanding tonight. Also, a couple of honourable mentions. Paseka was great. Nathan Brown, Matt Lodge, they were all very good. I thought Ola Kawatu had a good game. Ruben Garrick. Now, let me say something about Ruben Garrick. Ruben Garrick is one hell of a talent. But my God, some of the defensive decisions Ruben Garrick makes is absolutely shocking. So they got to get that in order quickly, the Seagulls. But Manly were good. They deserve the win. Bulldogs will be okay. That should be all right. But good win for Manly. Player of the game for me, Daly Cherry Evans. Kicking game was great. And let's just review Panthers Souths in 2 minutes because this game, I want to forget about it. Panthers 34-12. Look, Souths have got nothing to play for. Obviously, next week they'll be up for the Roosters. They'll be ready for that. But Panthers, man, Fisher Harris scored one. He got the first try of the game, actually. Garner got one. Schneider got one. Taruva got a double in like 3 minutes. Yo got one at the end. And for the Rabbitohs, Tyrone Munro got 2 tries. And massive shout out to Tyrone Munro, man. He unfortunately lost his mum last night. I think it was last night or yesterday. I think it was yesterday morning. And his uncle late last night as well. So it took a lot of courage for Tyrone Munro to play tonight. So shout out to Tyrone Munro. He scored 2 tries, had a bloody good game, and he's going to be a very good NRL winger, man. He has talent. He's going to be a good player for a very long time. So he was good. Munro was probably South's best player tonight. As for the Panthers, it wasn't a pretty performance from Penrith. I thought they were quite scrappy. I thought Brad Schneider had a very good game, though. I thought he was very good. I thought Isaiah Yeo and Mitch Kenny were very good. Luke Garner in game 100, he had a very good game tonight. I thought Alan Motti was solid. Thought Luai and Edwards probably overplayed their hand just a little too much tonight. But overall, Penrith they get it done. Not pretty, not convincing, but they're now locked in the top 4. So pretty ugly win for them, but fair play to them, I guess. But player of the game for me, look, I'm going to give it to Schneider. I thought Brad Schneider was very good. He's my player of the game. But guys, this is where the review is going to come to an end. I'm going to get on out of here. Thank you all for watching the review. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And see you guys tomorrow for the Saturday night football review. Till next time, see you, bye.